Welcome to Broadcast Advocate, a podcast from NASBA, the National Alliance of State Broadcasters Association, which discusses the latest news, trends, and stories impacting the world of broadcast radio and television. Broadcast Advocate is presented by Local Broadcast Sales, on-demand sales training and revenue development services that work nationwide. localbroadcastsales.com. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Randy Gravley, president of the Georgia Association of Broadcasters, and we're going to talk today about the biggest broadcast event in the U.S., the NAB Show, taking place later this month in Las Vegas. And our very special guest this month is Executive Vice President of Industry Affairs for the National Association of Broadcasters, April Carty-Sipp. April, welcome to the Broadcast Advocate.
Hi, Randy. I'm truly so happy to be here, and I'm actually personally thrilled that it's you that is doing the interview, because I don't know if you remember, but when I first met you is when you were the radio board chair of NAB, and you were one of the first people I met. So thank you for all that you continue to do in the industry.
Oh, well, thank you as well. And thank you for being here so we can talk about this big event, the NAB's biggest event. And it's a great time to learn, to network, and just all of the great content that I know that you guys are working on. But I know your team is extremely busy right now with the show. So let's go ahead and get right to it. First, April, tell us the when and where of NAB Show 2026.
Absolutely. The NAB Show is held every year at the Las Vegas Convention Center every April. This year, the conference and the sessions are going to be starting on Saturday, the 18th, and then the exhibits and the show floor then open on Sunday, the 19th, and I'm talking about April, like I said again. They both last all the way through Wednesday, April 22nd. So we open on the 18th and last till the 22nd.
So, April, I've been coming to the NAB Show for well over 20 years now, and so I've really seen the show evolve significantly over the years. What would you say to a radio or a television broadcaster who asks, why should I attend? What can I gain from attending the NAB Show 2026?
Randy, I love that you said that, because I also am a 20-year. I went to the NAB Show for 10 years before I started working at NAB. And every single time I went to the show, I walked away with something that was well more valuable than the amount of time and money that I spent to get there. The ROI is incredible. I remember the one time that I went, I was overseeing creative and graphics for sports networks, or a group of sports networks. And I literally walked past, a training platform that was on the show floor. I saw their demo, and I actually signed up for a license for my entire team on the spot. That's just one example of what it speaks to, what the real value is at the show. So whether you're looking for equipment or a product just to improve your day-to-day workflow, or any best practices, we've got hundreds of educational sessions, revenue generating ideas. Literally, there's something for everyone. And that's kind of what I also like, is that it's the central place for a broadcaster, no matter who you are or what your discipline is. If you're in engineering, if you're in management, programming, content, sales, if you're in news, sports, social media, entertainment, it does not matter which discipline you're in, there's something for you at the NAB Show. And that's truly the case, from my experience, both as an attendee and now working behind the scenes at NAB.
Well, that's great. So continuing to speak on evolution, the Las Vegas Convention Center has been going through some changes over the last couple of years. Can you tell us a little bit about how the renovations are going and how it's going to affect the attendees for the NAB Show 2026?
Sure. The good news is the renovations are completely done, and it was truly a major transformation. The LVCC went from top to bottom. Every single section of it was transformed. I think it was something like a $600 million renovation on Central and North Halls alone. And West Hall was new. I think that was built 5 years ago. So if you've been to West Hall, that's what North and Central look like. And for broadcasters, we have a really exciting change as well, which is that we moved our radio and television headquarters, which used to be located in West Hall, and then also part of it was in a conference room as far as what our membership lounge was. That's now all on the show floor. So our membership lounge is on the show floor for the first time. And if you're at the membership lounge, that entire area where the radio and television headquarters, all of your exhibitors that are geared towards broadcasting is all in that same exact space. And then within a walking distance are the sessions. So there's also Futures Park, which is right on the show floor next to the headquarters, which is really a place to see where innovative cutting edge technology and innovation take place. In some cases, it's first time seen projects and things that are at the NAB show and the first time in the US. So it's an entirely renovated space. It just opened, I think, in January. So it's the first time that NAB's had the whole floor and section to ourselves. So really much more manageable. You don't have to walk outside to get to a space or through construction or wear a hard hat. So it's definitely different, and really excited about this new renovation, and everyone will see it in a couple weeks.
All right. Well, thank you, April. We've got lots more to come. But after the short message, we'll discuss some tips for the first time and the veteran attendee to get into some must-see sessions, as well as some tips on what to do at NAB Show Las Vegas 2026. So stay tuned.
This is Mark Moore, General Manager of Local Broadcast Sales. Stations everywhere are starving for practical ways to prepare their sales teams to impress local clients and prospects. Your partnership with LBS delivers exactly that, and you get the credit. 12 world-class member services under one umbrella, built to meet sellers where they are. Training, covered. Tools that get results, covered. New seller certification, covered. All through one powerful LBS partnership. Tell your members to create their free local broadcast sales account at localbroadcastsales.com today.
We're back on Broadcast Advocate. Our guest today is NAB's April Carty-Sipp. April, whether this is a broadcaster's first time or 10th time at the NAB show, there must be some inside tips that you have to getting the most out of attending, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. So this probably is one of my favorite questions that I get asked because, as I said, I've been for about 20 years. I have several tips. My first one would be wear comfortable shoes. It doesn't matter what you're doing or where you're going, you're going to be walking a lot. NAB has actually a fun challenge where we challenge each other on how many steps you did, and it's a competition between staff. Another thing that I love that is new over the past couple of years is the loop, which I'm not sure if you've been on it, Randy, but it's game changing in my opinion. It's this underground tunnel system with electric vehicles that get you all around the Las Vegas Convention Center campus, and also to hotels nearby. It's free if you're in the convention center, so you can go back and forth from West Hall to Central and North Hall, and what might take you a 25-minute walk, you can do in a 2-minute loop ride. It's really great. So it'll save you some of that walking and those steps. And again, it's free if you're on site. If you're staying at a nearby hotel, you can get there in 55 seconds. So that's also a plus because sometimes those shuttles, or if you want to rent or have a car, it takes 15 minutes. So I highly recommend that. Another tip I do, because I'm doing a lot of back and forth from different meetings, is I bring granola bars and empty water bottle just in case you're in back-to-back meetings or sessions. Although I will say the food is really good. Randy, I don't know if you've been to the food court that's outside with the food trucks, but it's also very good. So a good way to get outside. And I'd say the biggest thing I do, especially when I used to go as an attendee, was I like to plan out my entire session. Every single place that I want to go or session that I want to go to, I would put out on, a map. We have a brand new app this year that kind of makes that so much easier, where you can build your own agenda, have your own personalized recommendations based on what you're putting in. And then also it can map out your entire show. But as I kind of said earlier, Randy, I definitely would leave room for walking around the show floor just to discover things, because you don't know what you're going to see. And I didn't even know what I needed or what existed until I saw it on the show floor. So highly recommend saving some time for that. I have so many more tips, but those are my short ones.
Absolutely. Well, I will tell you, I'll make sure to use some of those, and especially the comfortable shoes for sure. So,
Yes.
but let's talk about the content. You talked about the app, and you've just got so much content out at the NAB show this year, as well as in years past. But first, the NAB show welcome and keynote. What can you tell us about the special guests this year for the welcome and the keynote?
Yeah, as always, we've got a great lineup. I say we start off the welcome and keynote, which are Monday morning, the 20th of April. That starts at 10, and that's going to feature our president and CEO, Curtis Leggett, Karen Chupka, who's our EVP of Global Connections and Events. She actually, her and her team put on the entire show. They're going to kind of do a setting the stage of what storytelling's like and what the NAB is all about, as far as the innovation on the floor, what attendees can expect, et cetera. From there, that session is going to be all about storytelling. We have an incredible fireside chat with Jesse Collins, who is the producer behind some of the biggest live events that you've ever seen. The Grammys, he's produced those, I think, for 20 years. He produced the Oscars and the past 5 Super Bowl halftime shows. So talk about live experience and producing at that level. He'll kind of get into what's next in live event and live content. And then, Randy, I don't know if you're a Survivor fan like I am, the TV show, but it's in its 50th season, and we're really excited because Jeff Probst is going to join us live from Fiji. It's in its 50th season, and it's currently he's currently in Fiji taping the 51st season, so he's going to be, like I said, live remotely, which is also a cool aspect. And we'll also have a Survivor legend with us and have a conversation on how really Survivor kind of revolutionized what the reality genre is over the past 25 years. And then Tuesday morning, we're honoring Mo Rocca, who's from CBS Sunday Morning, from the Library of American Broadcasters. They're giving him their Insight Award, and he'll talk about storytelling and his perspectives across digital and podcasts. He has his own podcast, and also, like I said, he's in CBS Sunday Morning. And then I'm very excited because I'm going to be sitting down with Nate Bargatze, who's had an incredible year. He's a comedian. I'm sure you know who he is, but he won his first Grammy earlier this year. He's literally Best Times New York seller #1. Last year, he released a book. He hosted the Emmys last year. He has a game show on ABC. He's on Saturday Night Live and has some of the highest skits that get ratings on YouTube. And he's literally in the middle of his comedy tour and coming to the NAB show, doing a sit down with us. And I'm really excited to talk to him about how comedy and content are kind of evolving across different platforms. And that's just a little sample. We have so much, but that's just a little sample. But definitely download the app and you can do a search on other content and other great guests we've got too.
Well, April, I mean, that's incredible. And while you say this, it's just a little, that is a lot right there, right? And you just really kind of scratched the surface, I think. Let's move into sports. Sports is on the top of mind of many broadcasters, whether it's radio broadcasters or television broadcasters. Can you talk to us a little bit about the Sports Summit that will be a part of NAB Show 2026?
Yeah, we started our Sports Summit last year. So it was the first year that we did an entire sessions geared towards sports as far as an exclusive track. And now we've expanded it to 4 days. And we're really excited because it's a variety of speakers, again, all in one place. It's also free if you have an exhibits pass. So it's right on the show floor. It has its own theater. Oh, sorry, my light turned out. Let me turn it on again. But we're really excited about one of the opportunities, and one of the big highlights is John Miller, who's the president of acquisitions and partnerships for NBC Sports. And I used to work at NBC Sports years ago, but he's going to talk about rights, partnerships, where things are headed, and the timing couldn't be better. NBC just got off of, the Olympics, the Super Bowl, the All-Star game, this February that was so incredibly all containing of sports. I think they called it Legendary February, or it was a great branding too. But we're going to have a highlight of that as far as that's going to be on the main stage. And then we have everything that you could think of, from sports betting to distribution to obviously AI is extremely important at the show. It's probably one of the topics that crosses every single genre that we're hitting. Fan experiences, you name it. It's really a great session. And it's said it's over 4 full days. So we've got a large amount of content in that space and expanding it from just 2 last year.
So the Sports Summit is going to be everything from A to Z when it comes to sports, right? And you said it was free. Do they have to register?
No, so all you need to do is get a NAB Show exhibits or show pass, and I'll give you a code later on that for free.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So April, I know that your team is responsible for the broadcast content at the NAB show, and we talked a little bit about some content, but can you share some other cool sessions and content that's going to be happening out at the NAB show 2026 in Vegas in a couple of weeks?
Absolutely. So I mentioned the sports track already, which you brought up. We also have this broadcast monetization track and management, and that's really about the business of broadcasting, from revenue strategy to leadership to how your teams are evolving. It's designed for people that make day-to-day decisions on a station level and then also at a group level. You definitely know about this one, which is Small Medium Market Radio Forum, or as we internally call it, SMRF. That's designed for radio markets 55 plus and is extremely popular. We're moving that from Saturday this year to Sunday, April 19th. It starts at 2:00, and we start off with introductions and some great session material, but get into AI. Like I said, that's a real big topic, especially important for markets 51 plus and how to integrate it into your content plan. And then we break into roundtables. And I know you've been, Randy, it's like we have 10 different roundtables and we have 3 or 4 different sessions that you can pick and choose, kind of like make it your own show. And it's everything from like sales growth to podcast strategy to digital audience engagement, promotions. I know promotions is really important, and events, everything that you can think of, we've got a session about. And if we don't and we need it, you can tell us and we'll add it next year. This is a very interactive session that we work with small and medium market broadcasters just to curate specifically for them. And then on the tech side, I know you probably know it, but the Broadcast Engineering and Information Technology Be It conference is a standout. That's the longest running NAB show program. It dates back to 1947. So really incredible. You'll hear a lot about ATSC 3.0, connected cars, where engineering is headed in the future. So like I said, it's really a mix of everything from strategy to revenue to tech and innovation, everything that you could kind of take back with you. So we have a lot of tracks, hundreds of sessions. And that's why you definitely want to download the app and why I kind of plan my show, because there's so much content. It's a plethora, frankly.
So April, I'm glad that you mentioned all of those things, but specifically the Small and Medium Market Forum. It's been great to see how that has grown over the years, and I will tell you, I can't say enough as you have how important that is to your smaller and medium broadcasters to really learn and get a lot out of it. So if you're coming to the NAB show in a couple of weeks, you definitely want to make sure that you attend the Small and Medium Market Forum on Sunday, did you say?
Correct. Sunday at 2:00 in North Hall, right near our Radio TV headquarters.
Awesome. Well,
and we
April,
have a happy hour, by the way, after, so you get to socialize with everyone too. So extra fun, and it's included, totally free.
Wonderful. So April, we've only scratched the surface, but I'm afraid that we're out of time today. But the last question is it too late to register for those broadcasters that might be on the fence? And if not, how do they register?
100% never too late. You can register even on site, but I definitely would recommend going to nabshow.com and registering. And like I said, a special code for everyone listening and viewing this will be the code BROADCAST, just like it's spelled, broadcast, and it would be a free exhibits pass or $100 off our premium conference programming. So that would be getting you into all those sessions from Be It to Smurf to the broadcast management track, et cetera. So use that code and you can get $100 off or free exhibits pass. And again, thank you for having me. Really excited to talk about the show and appreciate the opportunity for sure.
Thanks so much. Well, there you go. Still time to join thousands of broadcasters at the NAB show later this month in Las Vegas. Thank you to April for joining us today and being on the episode of Broadcast Advocate. And I know that your team has been working very hard, and we want to thank them for preparing what will be a few great days in Las Vegas at the NAB Show 2026. So thank you so much, April, to you and your team at NAB. So please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast to learn more about the National Alliance of State Broadcasters Associations. Visit our website, NASBAonline.net. That's NASBAonline.net. I'm Randy Gravley. Stay tuned for our next episode of Broadcast Advocate.